ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of G&A Podcast with your host, Sober Oni, and...
Dooby-doo.
Yes, and we have an extra short episode, I guess, today, because end of the season time, and all the shows are ending, including the show we didn't really knew ended last week, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we have a bunch, but nevertheless, this was a good week.
It was
it
was a really good week. It was really good.
Really, really solid. I'm one in particular. I know
two in particular. Two.
No, I'm just saying one. Boy, let me finish. One in particular that me and Soberni definitely enjoyed.
Yes.
But will it be our episode of the week? I guess there's only one way to find out.
Stay tuned right now because we're going to be covering
next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Next time on G&A Podcast. All right, let's go right into it with, as always, Boku no Hero Academia. This episode was almost my episode of the week. But nonetheless, it was a really, and it hurts me because it was a really astoundingly good episode. So, Midoriya is on the train to school, and he kind of gets recognized, and everybody notices him from the sports festival. And then once he arrives to school, he finds that everyone else is kind of coping with their newfound fame. When Aizawa comes in, and his injuries are all finally healed, so he's not all bandaged up anymore. And he tells everybody, he puts up how many people received the recruitment request from the heroes. And, unsurprisingly, Todoroki and Bakugo are at the top of the list. Todoroki actually surpasses Bakugo in requests. But Uraraka and Ida are there, but Midoriya isn't. And they think it's because he was so reckless. On top of that, Aizawa tells them that they need to choose their superhero code names. And that was like the ultimate hype because I personally was really hyped. And Midnight comes in to come and judge all their new names. And we get a few gems. My personal favorite being Froppy because that's just fucking perfect for Tsuruya. Bakugo's name, I don't think they ever finalized his name, but I was totally expecting him to do something with murder. So I was like, oh, it's going to be Murder Man or something like that. And I was close. It was like Explosion Murder something.
King or something.
Yeah, something like that. Something really stupid. But
something that an idiot from some 13-year-old idiot on 4chan would come up with.
Million dislikes. And but more importantly, we get a few really good ones. Uraraka comes up with Uravity, which is like beautiful. I love that
10
name.
out of 10, yeah.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 name. Awesome, creative. Ida kind of was going to take up his brother's name because we had a little bit of a flashback with him talking to his brother saying even if he recovers, he can't be a hero anymore because he's kind of paralyzed. So he was going to write down his brother's hero's name. Was it Ignate? I can't pronounce it. So I can't. I'm not even trying to pronounce it. Anyway,
I don't remember the name.
I think it's like Iganium or something. I forget what it is. But he kind of can't bring himself to do it, so he just goes with his first name, Tenya, as his hero name. And Midoriya chooses Deku because why not? Which I was at first I was kind of disappointed by, but it kind of
that
made sense.
Makes sense.
It made sense, yeah. Since that's kind of the name that was used to tease him all the time. But nonetheless, All Might kind of gets the news that Midoriya did get one recruitment letter, and he runs to go tell him that it's from Gran Torino, who is All Might.
Gran Turismo?
I wrote that in my notes. Thank God for spell check, because I was like, it was Gran Turismo, right? But no, it's Gran Torino. And he's All Might's old homeroom teacher, and apparently All Might is like terrified of the dude. But nonetheless, Midoriya goes off to train with him because they all got to go and do internships for a week at different hero agencies. Uraraka chooses to go with, what's his name? Gunhead or something?
Gunhead. Something that sounds violent.
Very violent. A very violent agency because she wants to learn how to fight Ida goes to Honshu or whatever, Hoshu, because he wants to go to where Stain is and kind of get revenge on his for his brother. Midoriya ends up going to Gran Torino, but before they all leave, Midoriya goes to confront Ida one more time to kind of be supportive and tell him he's here for him because of what happened to his brother. And it doesn't work, and we get this kind of ominous narration from the future Midoriya saying he wished he had done more at that time because what follows is not the best thing. So it was overall a really, really, really good episode.
Mm-hmm.
I particularly like the naming part of it just because, one, it was like super hype. I'm like, I actually forgot that they had to choose their hero names. When it happened, I was like, oh shit, they don't even have hero names.
Yeah. That was very interesting.
And they were
all... Sorry.
No,
continue.
I like that there was a bit of symbolism there with the Deku using his the name that was used against him this whole time and kind of turning it into his own hero name and making literally his weakness into his strength, and then Todoroki and Ida not being able to even come up with hero names because it's sort of symbolic of how they haven't found their identity yet. Ida being like not able to cope with his brother not being a hero anymore, and Todoroki just not knowing what to do.
Yeah, Todoroki's just like, should I fire? Should I ice? Should I both? Yeah. God. Yeah, that's actually really a really good episode. Like I thought it was gonna be some kind of like some B- filler.
Yeah,
like,
I was kind of expecting a filler-ish episode where they're just not doing anything, but it was a...
But no, it seems like a manga, like, and then they're just going straight to the next part.
Yeah, they're just going straight ahead. I also liked how it was really... It integrated the comedy and serious parts really well, because we had, like, the majority of it was comedy, but then we had the few moments with Ida, and it kind of... Normally it would feel kind of jarring to have such, like, dramatic moments mixed in with such comedic moments, but it kind of felt like it flowed nicely. I wasn't particularly like thrown off by the drama.
Yeah, me neither, because it was still like drama from like the last episode, so it wasn't like out of nowhere.
Yeah. Also, like how
it was good.
Training arcs in the sky. Like this whole thing is going to be a training arc because they're all going off on different internships, but it wasn't like your typical shonen training arc. It's just kind of like it fits the theme of them being in school and being heroes with internships.
Also, I'm definitely interested in seeing where is it is it Ida or is it Iya?
Ida. You always get his name wrong.
No, because I feel like which one calls it the first name for Midoriya, it's like Iya or something like that.
I don't think it is.
So I always get...
I don't even know what his first name is. I just know him as Midoriya and Deku.
I literally think it starts with an I. That's why I always get their names confused.
Oh no, it's Izuku.
I feel like they shorten it. I don't know. Anyways, point is, Ida, I want to see, like, where this path of, like, revenge takes them. Because, like, you can clearly see it. That's where they're going. Like, literally, when they're like, oh, yeah, look, if you need anything to me. And then you just see the shadows forming on his face. I'm like, oh, no,
yeah,
he's going... he's headed for the dark side. I don't know why he's trying to do this. Like, this guy... They literally say in the episode that this villain has killed multiple heroes and like crippled even more. So
they gave his stats.
Maybe his stats. Like, oh, these are his killing stats. And then Ida's like, oh, that makes me more motivated. I don't know. I want to see where it takes him. I want to see if it ends up destroying him, or if it ends up destroying him because he kills Stain, or if it ends up destroying him because he actually just gets killed.
I have a feeling he's not going to fight. Like, I have a feeling they're all going to end up, coming to save him. But the one thing I do have to say that kind of, like, threw me for a loop in this episode is how they did not know what their hero names were gonna be. Like, I would think if you're a hero and you're like, this is the thing you're doing, you would know by now what you want your hero name to be. You don't have to brainstorm it on the spot.
I don't know. I can understand it. Like, if I had a power, I wouldn't really... I'd be more invested in, like, perfecting it and getting stronger in it than opposed to coming up with, like, a name for it.
I don't know. I feel like they would come up with a name for it. Like, there are people who... If you are, like, playing basketball in high school, you already know what you want your number for the NBA to be, you know, if you're going to be in the NBA. It's like one of those things, you know? It's like people dream.
Coming up with a name for yourself is harder than coming up with a number.
If you dream of being a hero, you should know what your hero name is gonna be. Like, I don't know. I feel like they should have put more thought into that a long time ago.
Name Nazi.
Decker did, but
okay, name Nazi. We're gonna unless you're done scrutinizing their thought choices or their thought processes or lack of for their names. Let's move on.
I'm trying to pad out this episode, you know, because we have like nothing except 5 shows to talk about.
Yeah, but I get it. But I actually do want to get to the next episode.
You really want to talk about Don Machi?
Yes, I do. Because I actually like. No, because I actually like it.
This was a good episode of Don Machi, actually.
This was a good episode.
This is one of my favorite episodes of Don Machi so far.
Easily. So the episode starts, they finally reach level 50. And once they rise to level 50, their teams are being made. Lefia's sad because she's sent in support while like everyone else is separated into like their other groups. I thought there's like going to be like a huge, big, like mass of them, but there was only like 10, so it's like, did it even matter? Like, Ice is right there.
Yeah, it's a small party.
Yeah, but more importantly, everyone else seems pretty riled up. Literally, from watching Belle kill the Minotaur, everyone's like, you know, they're like, oh my god, I'm fucking hype. Oh my god, I'm ready.
Like everyone, you mean Tiona?
Tiona and Bet.
Oh yeah,
Bete, whatever.
Tiona was like ultra hype though.
Yeah, she was like, oh, let's fight and kill everything. They get new weapons to fight with, so their weapons won't be degraded by the monster's acid, like the flower snake. Let's see. Oh, there's like more borderline Yuri, guys, as Lefia is, I think, about to go to sleep, or Tione is about to go to sleep, and they end up running into each other, and she's like, "Hey, let's go sleep in the boss's tent." By boss, I mean Finn's tent.
90s porn music just starts playing in the background.
I know. I'm just like, threesome dojin, question mark. Yeah, and then Tione just kind of like puts Lefia in like some kind of arm lock or some kind of hold and just like, go to sleep. So yeah, no sex for Lefia, unfortunately. So next day they finally set off on their expedition to level 51, which they blow through it quite easily. Like I said, Bete and Tiona are like,
super easily.
Let's kill everyone.
They blow through it in one shot.
Yeah. Level 52, however, not so much. So apparently what happened was dragons from level 58. Fun fact, the levels go down, not up. For some reason I thought they went up, but apparently they go down.
I had that kind of concept, that misconception too. Like, I thought they were going up, not down.
Yeah. So dragons from level 58 are literally shooting up fire, not cocaine.
I was literally about to say, wow, these are some dangerous ass dragons.
Oh my god. Could you imagine? Bad enough that those dragons are like literally blowing holes. Literally blowing holes through the level trying to kill you. But in addition, they're also tweaked out on crack. Yikes.
Also, that's a really crazy aggro range if they're like 8 levels below you and just shooting up at you.
Yeah. Also, that's a little bit crazy. Jesus. But unfortunately, Lethia falls into a hole. After she saves her partner and gets snatched up by some spider. So yeah, she falls into the hole, and then Bete, Tione, and Tiona. By the way, this is the first time I've ever like said their names successfully. Like I just refer to them as the twins because that's just how little I cared about this anime. Even though they are great characters. I was about to say,
but they're the best characters.
They kind of are, but they all chase after her, make sure Olivia is safe, and then even Gareth joins them, and they big cool scene of them fighting dragons. They're fighting. The others, however,
there are actually other enemies besides snake plant things.
There's the big dragons, and then there are the worms who eat the dragons. Which is kind of terrifying. And then the other people who didn't fall down with them took the normal path down to 59. Somehow they cleared it in like 2 seconds flat. And they just reunited with them and blew the rest of the enemies away. And successfully cleared level 58. It's almost as if they easily could have done it at any other time.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense, but whatever.
So then they eventually get to level 59, which looks like a jungle.
Yeah, and apparently it's uncharted. No one's ever been to level 59.
Yeah, uncharted territory. They walk through the jungle, and all of a sudden they find this plant that's been like devouring other plants. That
they find a mega
essentially, yeah, like oh my god, I love Cradily. Also, that's a really random. Like, I wouldn't expect you of all people to know what a Cradily is. But,
yeah, brushing up on my Pokemon.
But yeah. Anyways, it's pretty much a plant spirit. Like, comes out of nowhere after eating all these plants, and is like, "Oh, Adia," because Ice is right in front of her, and apparently everyone just has to fucking call her Adia, like, because dead parent issues. Like, literally is like, "Oh, you look like your mother. We're gonna call you by her name." That's literally like, I literally summed down like half the plot of like the entire series. But that's where the episode left off, I believe.
Yeah, it was a good, a lot of action.
Yeah,
it's funny. The best episode seems it's like the formula is the more twins and the less eyes, the better the episode. It's kind of weird how that works out.
I think the formula is less ice, period, the better the episode.
It actually felt like a genuine like dungeon crawly show where they had a variety of enemies and they were actually going through the dungeon and they actually had to act as a party instead of having Ice blow through everybody.
Literally go in, and kill everyone.
So yeah, I like the teamwork element of this episode and all the
very good teamwork.
Various character interactions that did not involve Ice in any way.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh no, the best part was when Ice was talking to Tsubaki and Tsubaki's like, "Oh, you've changed." I'm like, "Really? What was she like before? Quiet and non-discreet?"
I know, like, oh, quiet and aloof and doesn't talk to anyone. ... How has she changed exactly? That's because she has literally like 2 cute moments in the entire series. Does not make her a changed woman.
No, she's still the same old Ice.
Even though we never met her, I'm definitely 100% sure that she's the same.
Yeah, no, definitely. At the very least, though, it might be a good finale next week because there's an additional... I mean, I'm assuming the other chick who wants to fight Ice is going to show up, and they're also going to fight the plant spirit, so at the very least, we should get a good fight. Maybe they saved their whole budget for this fight. And who knows? Maybe we'll get a season 2 of Danmachi, the original series announcement or something.
Okay, now you're overreaching.
Yeah, but I can dream.
Yeah, I guess you can. Let's see. I like the use of the other level 6s in this episode, who instead of literally just walking around just saying stuff, like they actually fight.
I think they're level 5.
This is the first time I've ever seen. No, they're all level 6. As in Gareth.
Oh yeah,
Gareth, Finn, and Riviera. There you go.
Rivera.
No, it's Rivera.
Top of being.
Her name's actually is Stephanie Rivera. Loca mage.
She's so much better than Lafayette.
Yeah, no,
just
absolutely.
saying. At least Lafayette did something. Just to say. Lafayette did.
I like
do
Lafayette when
something
she gets all cute and she with her lesbian obsession.
Oh, no, I'm just talking about character wise. I'm talking about
that.
magician magic user wise.
Oh well, yeah, obviously she's level 6. Not that Lafayette's bad per se.
She kind of is, but at least she did do something.
I feel like she's no. She's only bad compared to everyone else. That's it.
I guess so. Yeah, because she's with a team of a bunch of overpowered monsters that breeze through the floors of the dungeon without any problem.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I can't. Well, she can't do much about that. Oh. Yeah. Anything else?
No. Decent episode. Hope next episode's good too.
Yeah. That being said, moving on to our episode of the week. Please take it away.
Who says this is my episode of the week? No, it is. It totally is.
Yeah.
The best episode. Next up is Earl Manga Sensei, our episode of the week, because it was awesome. Essentially, Sagiri finally collects on Elf's promise for her and Muramasa to model for her in exchange for having or allowing her brother to go on that vacation with them. So she invites them over. Go ahead.
No, literally, it's as if this entire series she was going to I'm just a total fucking pervert, anonymous, trying to get help, and then she just fell off the wagon this episode.
You know how this episode was secretly really built up to. There was a lot of a lot of other aspects from other episodes all over the place.
Where she just every now and then her pervert side would come out and then she and then go back into the shadows. And this episode she just fucking loses it.
Yeah.
But continue, please.
So she invites them over for a festival and forces
quote unquote
part 1 of the festival. And she forces them into really skimpy bikinis to play Twister for her pleasure while she draws. But while they're in the middle of that, bookstore girl shows up to Masamune's place to give him an 18+ doujinshi based on his new light novel. And Sagiri's just kind of spying in on him, notices it, and becomes overly fascinated with it, so she tries to steal it and succeeds in stealing it from Masamune. And then she's just fully embraces her perverted side and wants to draw actual Iro manga. So she is motivated to draw some porn and does so. Mind
you, it's doujinshi of her own series.
Yeah, off her own series that's based on her and her brother. So she's kind of using her and her brother as reference for her porn right now. But she's drawing some porn. And by the way, kudos on this episode for not holding back. This was low-key OVA. I'm surprised this episode was allowed on TV type stuff.
Yeah, this is a no, that's going too far. I was gonna say, oh, it's almost like Kiss X Sis. I'm no, it wasn't. We're not there yet.
Not that level, but when you read into underlying messages of this episode, it's pretty bad. So anyway, this underage girl just starts drawing porn of her and her brother.
I wish I did to say that.
So she starts with that, and she shows it to Masamune, and he realizes that his sister doesn't know, apparently, how a penis looks or where it goes. So
crazy.
So he's too embarrassed to kind of be like, "Hey, you got the dick wrong in your manga." So he tries to show it to Elf and get her to tell his sister that the dick is wrong. But Elf is like, "Oh, this looks right to me." So he does the next best thing and calls the dick expert, Megumine, who's with her brother, and insists that she's for some reason she wants to dig herself in like a giant hole. So she's like, playing it off that she's with a boy and all that. And
a 20-year-old college
20-year-old college student. So Masamune asks her to, I guess, teach his sister where a penis looks like and where it is on the body. So she sends her a picture. Meanwhile, while this is all going on, they're trying to strip Masamune. They're just like.
Thank you. I was like, "Are you not?"
I forgot about that part.
Over that, where they're kind of like
his sister and Elf are like trying to just take off his pants, and so she draws a picture of her brother. Another really creepy aspect of the show that's just totally, we're going to brush over it. But she draws a picture of her brother to illustrate where the penis is. Her brother's in kindergarten. And she's like, shows it to Elf and everybody else. And is like, this is my boyfriend. Clearly it's just like a 5 or 6 year old kid. And ultimately it falls on Muramasa to draw where the penis goes, and she draws the what's it called, the Statue of David.
I think so.
Yeah, the Statue of David to illustrate it, the anatomy of a man. And then they blame her for being a pervert, and
they immediately slut shame her with the quickness, and I'm like, really?
They like blow up her spot. And it just kind of ends with them going crazy and having fun, and eventually they end up saying goodbye, and it feels weird, but that's where the episode ends. It's just them having a good night out, and hijinks and antics ensue.
Wait, that was the last episode?
That was the actual last episode. It did not feel like the last episode at all. It was totally really anticlimactic, but not necessarily in a bad way.
Exactly. Like me and Bay was watching it. Bay was doing his work, and I was watching, taking notes, and he was like, "Yo, even at the end of this, I don't really know what the fuck is going on." But even I'm like, "Is that it?"
Yeah, it's super anticlimactic, which makes me really think there's going to be a season 2. I mean, or at least an OVA or something, because it's.
Yeah, I can't.
It literally cannot.
I'd actually be sad.
It was no setup for an ending at all. But I mean, it was still an amazing episode. It drew on all the little bits from the whole series with references to other episodes. It actually featured the vast majority of the cast, like everybody except Chris, Elf's brother, was in the show in this episode, and contributed in some way. So it was just a really amazing episode, and we got to see Saigiri be really cute, and she's clearly the better Kirino. She's like Kirino if Kirino was a good character. This is literally. I'm fine with her now because she's just so these past two episodes that made Saigiri my opinion of her is just skyrocketed.
Yeah, I think at some point halfway in the series, I stopped hating on her, and now I'm
I never really hated on her.
She's cool.
Now I really love her.
I didn't like her. I didn't like her at first because she did kind of seem like Kirino, but in a different flavor, same shit, different flavor. But then she just got infinitely better. Yeah,
she's not as over the top as Kirino was. By the way,
I think that's.
No, before I completely change the topic. By the way, since this episode is inappropriate, I'm just gonna be a little bit inappropriate. But I didn't notice it before. Muramasa clearly, as much as I love Elf and Saigiri, Muramasa is like really, really attractive. She has the best body of anybody in the show. Proportionately. Like in a swimsuit, she looked amazing.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess so. I mean, I really wasn't looking at the bodies and their swimsuits like that. But
while they were playing Twister.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't, but obviously that's where the episode was focusing on in that scene.
Yes, I'm glad one of us did talk about it.
And yeah, if there wasn't enough Eromanga porn already, this episode's gonna make so much more based on this one episode.
Yeah, the actual doujins are going to just...
It's gonna be super meta, because this episode about them writing doujins about a series about the show that they're in is gonna inspire a bunch of doujins about that show.
Oh, can we please stop talking what will be meta in the doujin world? Thank you. I had a nice salad. I'm trying to keep it inside.
Yeah, this was like the funniest episode by far.
Yeah, easily. I mean, I guess with that being said, should we rate it? Because it's over.
You're right. It is over. So sad. I was gonna give it. I thought about it beforehand, and I was gonna give it a. I was gonna give it a 7.5, but this episode made me take it to an 8.
Yeah, same.
Solid 8. I think it was really... I don't know. Usually these types of endings would piss me off, but... I don't know. It just doesn't...
It works.
It works really well for this scenario.
Yeah, it didn't feel like... Because the episode was so good, it didn't even feel like it was lacking.
Yeah, it ended, and I was like, what?
For an ending.
But yeah, it was really well done.
But not... Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. It was a good series. Like, I ended up not thinking much about it, but then it got better. Minus that one episode about it being all about drama, but other than that, it was great.
Which I still enjoyed.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Okay.
Speaking of endings that we enjoy, let's move on to Renai Bokun. So, this is right after Goody turns into a demon and leaves for hell. And one more specifically, right after the fight that they had, Yuzu, Seiji, and Akane. Seiji chases after Yuzu. Yuzu feels sad that she, for once, actually said something mean about Akane. And she's like, oh my god, that's so bad, I can die just thinking about it. And then Korali, in his really creepy cat face, was like, yes, that's the answer, kill yourselves. And then they're like, how? And then he's like, final form, which kills them on sight, apparently.
Yeah, so he kills them.
Yeah, so Korali kills them. Then... they talk with Kami-sama a bit. Fun fact, Goody-chan is actually half demon, which explains her tooth. Because I always thought about that. I'm like, tooth, that's something like, like either a monster girl or devil girl or demon girl would have. Yeah, her fang thing.
Oh, I thought that was just like an aesthetic thing because it was cute.
No, that actually makes sense now because she's a half demon.
I think you're reading too much into that.
And that's
fang.
that's a thing that they do. Whatever. Anyways. So yeah, God essentially sends him to hell to rescue Giri using a warp tube from Mario Brothers game.
They never said it was Mario Brothers.
Yes. Well, they don't have the funding like they do in Akiba Strip, all right? Where they can just go around saying Street Fighter, Street Fighter, Street Fighter.
Yeah, Mario did not sponsor. Nintendo's not sponsoring Renai Bokun.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Shiki, the scene skips to Shiki squaring off with Mao because she's just like, I want to do shit, make me a demon. And he's like, bitch, wait. And then she's like, oh, why? So they get into a tiff, and then she's like, fuck it, I'm still gonna do what I want. And then they go into her backstory, which, explains to her why the way she is.
She is literally Akane from Kuzuno Honkai.
No. Wait, time out.
We're revitalizing the old.
I understand.
Time to relive the past.
Why you're saying that? I understand why you're saying that. Bitch, if you want this episode to be longer, this is a great way. You're on the good track. Because, first of all, Akane literally had no fucking reason to turn out into a crazy bitch. That bitch was crazy from the get-go. Literally, she saw nothing tragic or scarring happen to her. Literally, she just saw her friend get dumped because the boy liked her, and then she saw her face, and she was like, oh, I don't like that face. I'm gonna be a fucking crazy person and steal everything from everyone.
All right,
like that's literally was for no reason.
What's triggered them to be crazy bitches is different, but their overall just love of being crazy bitches and stealing and taking satisfaction and ruining people's lives is the same.
Okay, fine, yes, in that sense, they are literally carbon copies of each other, except I like Shikimi more. I just like her more because she's literally like a better Akane in my opinion.
God, if only Shikimi was in Kuzuno Honkai instead of Akane.
Yo, someone would literally be dead.
So many deaths.
So yeah, she would kill like 3 people. But yeah. So also Mao tries to convince Goody, or like hints at Goody, like, hey Goody, you should have learned how to do things. Or well, not so much that. She's like telling Goody to like relax because it's like, hey, you're gonna be the next Mao, so you don't really gotta do shit. And she's like, I have no interest of doing that. So like at this point in the episode, like literally like everyone's like not happy. Literally everyone is not happy. Mao's not happy. Shikimi's not happy. Goody is a demon, so not happy. Like she's like the happiest one out of everyone.
Which is saying something.
Oh, I know. Then we learned that in a flashback that Kami apparently cheated on Goody's mom, whose name is Mavro, and they divorced. And I'm just like, all right. Wait, what? Like, God cheated on his wife and they got a divorce?
I think they brought that up before when he first showed up.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe I feel like I would remember that, but maybe you're right. I don't know. I guess, coming from a Christian mindset, I've just been like, oh, he's God, so he kind of just created her, and he's like, hey, you're my daughter.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if I said this last episode, but I actually really like Guri's demon design. Probably a little bit more than her actual angel design. Like, it's a really good character design.
It's a really good character. You're right. It is really good. But can I say I like it more than original Goody?
I don't know. I feel like if I saw them side by side and I didn't have any preconceived idea of Guri, I would prefer the demon form. But because I associate Angel Guri with Guri, I just like her more. Like, if you take their personalities out of it, I think, just from an aesthetic standpoint.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, the her aesthetics are really like 10 out of 10. Anyway, so back to how Seiji, Yuri, and Carly are undercover, just looking for Goody. Then of course they run into Shikimi, who immediately blows their cover. So they're on the run from the health police or whatever. And just when they're about to be cornered, Akane kind of just literally kills them all. And then, in typical great Renai Bokun fashion, they go into a flashback of like how she ended up there. Like, she literally dies from shock of like thinking about not being with Seiji. That was like one of my favorite parts of the series. She just dies from shock, and then it just shows her going on like this rampage. looking for Seiji. So then, anyway, now the whole group has been reunited. They all try to find Goody. And then Akane is like, bitch, let's fight. And then they fight, and then, you know, they're pretty much at a standstill, and Akane is like, well, fuck this shit. I don't know what else to do. I guess you just go home.
We tried.
Yeah. But in a turning twist of events, Shikimi tries to help Goody to, like, destroy, like, Akane's love by, you know, she puts Akane in a hold. And Akane's like, go ahead, do it. And Goody's like, alright, sure, time to destroy your love. And then literally the most hysterical thing happens. Seiji literally breaks through with like impromptu sex joke, which he didn't even mean. Like, oh, I forgot, what did he say?
You know, I completely forgot his line, but yeah,
I forgot. It was so good. He was like, oh, like, can I jab you or something, or like poke you or something like that. And she's like, is that a sex joke? And she's like, and then he like overreacts and he's like, no, dumbass, it's not. And then she like,
essentially they do the whole
like,
straight
somehow,
man routine.
Yeah.
And he forces her out of character.
Exactly. And then Shikimi goes back to being Shikimi, which is what I like about her over Akane. Because, like, towards, like, almost the very bitter end, she just tries to, like, ruin everything. Shikimi, yeah, just really tries to, like, play with her head. And then, you know, Goody's truly at an impasse so much that she, like, literally, like, passes out and just like falls midair. So she's falling to her death, well, quote unquote death, and Seiji jumps off the ledge in order to catch her. And yeah, I guess him catching her finally like triggers her reverting back into an angel. And then she's like, what I really want is, you know, for you to love me, and that's okay if I love you and want you to love me back. She comes to this realization, transforms in a very beautiful, pretty scene. They turn up the super cute meter on her and make her so cute.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh yeah, just let me love you, da da da. And then this cute moment literally lasts all of 10 seconds as Akane literally just throws a knife at her head. And she's like, how dare you fucking kiss him? And then Goody is just like, you know, Shikimi, if you stop being such a bitch, you can join our harem. And she's like, oh, really? And then towards the end of the episode, it's literally just the same, like, you know, dribble that they always do. There's the whole running gag where Goody says or does something, like, totally crazy enough to stop Akane. Akane chases after her, trying to kill her. Yuzu's trying to, like, chase after Akane. And Seiji's kind of in the middle. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. And it just it ends well.
Yeah. I really wish this was like a 2-core, like 24 episode show. Like, I really wish it was. It's so... But even in the short amount of time it actually did a really good job of setting up every character's arc. Like, if you think about it, we got a good arc for Yuzu and her issues. We got a really good arc for Akane and her issues. We got a good arc for Guri at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it did so much in 12 episodes, and it still made it
really did.
Funny.
It did it so well. Yeah. Like, it was like, and the one thing I like about it was consistently good.
Yeah, it was consistently good, and it never really lost the sense of comedy. Like, it never sacrificed its comedy for its drama. Like, even the most dramatic, serious episodes still had the good comedic effect and gags and timing on there. to make it entertaining and funny.
Exactly. It was. This anime truly was just fantastic to watch, in my opinion, from start to finish. If you had to give it a score, I'd give it a 9. Easy.
I think we're going to debate that. I think that it was consistently good throughout. It did a good job of balancing everything. I don't think it excelled in any particular area. So I'm going to go with a 7.5. Only, no.
Excuse what? Wait, first of all, I'm going to change my score. I'm going to give it an 8.5. Only because it still is excellent. I'm only taking out 0.5 is because it did do a good job of exploring everyone else's arc except for Shikimi.
That's what I was gonna say. Shikimi, that's kind of what I was gonna say.
I think Shikimi should have deserved like her own thing, like if not to transform her, but just like explain how she is. But they kind of just did it in like one scene, just like wrap it up. That's the only reason I'm giving her 8.5. But whoa, that being like. That aside, a 7.5.
First off, a 7.5 is a really, really good score. I want to point that out. That's like way above average.
First of all,
5 is average. 5 is average. So 7.5 is really,
definitely
really good.
Better than Eromanga Sensei.
It's not better than Eromanga Sensei because, like I said, it does everything it does really, really well, and it does it consistently well. My biggest issue was it doesn't necessarily. It has. Because it does everything consistently well, it doesn't necessarily have any really high peaks, and then obviously it has no really low lows. Eromanga did have a few moments that were better than anything in Renai Boken. Like, case in point, the last episode that we just saw. So, that's why it gets the 0.5 higher than Renai Boken, in my opinion. Just because it was able to deliver not as consistently, but in some cases better than Renai Boken could.
And maybe in some episodes, but like those episodes, I can count with like 2 fingers.
That's still,
in my opinion,
that's still better than things that were.
No. I'm
not giving it like 3 points higher than Renai Boken.
I'd rather take the full series of good episodes that are all 8s to me, as opposed to watch.
I also think Eromanga had better characters.
It's like 6, 6, 7, 7, 6, 6, 7, 7, 9, and then 2 9s.
I think, or
9 and a 10.
I do think Eromanga had better characters too. I think Renai Boken did a better job with its comedy, but I think Eromanga had better characters. It did, when it was at its highest point, it was like really high up there compared to Renai Boken when it was at its highest point. It was just like as good as every other episode.
Which was where?
Well, no matter what, unless you're Attack on Titan, not everything is gonna be like your highest point is not gonna be every episode. Like Attack on Titan is like, that's why Attack on Titan got 9, because it's like all over the place on top. But I can't give. I don't know. For me, it comes down to, when I think about it, it comes down to ultimately the characters, and I just enjoy Eromanga's characters that much more than Renai Boken's. That's why I get an 8 out of 7, and Renai gets 7.5.
I feel like it definitely has to do something with bias.
It doesn't. Alright, I'll say this. Renai Boken, I think, did a better job of, like, developing most of its characters. Because outside of Elf and Sagiri, there aren't that many developed characters in Eromanga, whereas I feel like the whole cast, aside from Shikimi in Renai, got like really, really good development. But overall, I just like Eromanga's characters better. And I like the few, like for example, that scene with Elf, when she was confessing and proposing to Masamune. That was an astounding scene. The scene at the end with the whole dick joke thing. It was an astounding half an episode. Like, there are moments in Eromanga that are just like 10 out of 10, brilliant, amazing, great. And then there's like moments in Attack on Titan. Every episode there's a 10 out of 10 Attack on Titan perfect masterpiece scene. I don't think that Renai Boken necessarily had any of those 10 out of 10, like, this scene is a masterpiece, oh my god, moments. It was just really, really good moments throughout.
I don't know. I feel like that, at the end of the day, that's what a comedy is supposed to be about.
It is. That's why I get to 7.5, which is a really, really good score.
No, Edamanga tried to be, like, kind of drama and definitely like it says right here, comedy, dramedy, romance, and they definitely, like, sacrificed some of their comedy.
They did, because it's not, it was more of a drama than Renai Boken was. Like I said, Renai Boken is slapstick.
You're right, and Renai Boken wasn't a drama. Yes, and that's why it got the score it got, because it did what it did, and I think
Eromanga did what it needed to do really well. I think the drama in Eromanga was really done well, and I think the comedy was really done well.
I just think there are more border baseline / low moments than there are high moments in Eromanga, to be perfectly honest, as opposed to Renai Boken.
I think that you're focusing on that
like
one
that scene,
episode.
Like that scene, really that scene that you said with Elf. For example, I would not call that a 10 out of 10.
Really?
Like, it was
that
a good
was
scene.
Amazing.
It was a good scene,
well
and it was good for tying up the episode. It was a good ending to an episode.
That was like a beautifully done, masterful scene. I don't know what you're talking about.
It was okay. It was okay. It just set up the ambience well. Like, it was like a good scene at a good time, but like it wasn't like the dialogue blew me away, and like
it was a mixture of all the things. I like the scenery, the background imagery. I love the animation. I love
to me that's literally like the best
dialogue
part
was really good.
That's
it was in character for Elf to be like that. It was in character for Masamune to kind of respond that way, and it was a touching moment. Overall, I think it was just a really, really, really great scene, and it perfectly wrapped up their little arc without any loose ends, and it was a way of touching on all the points of that arc without leaving any loose ends or making you feel like unsatisfied with anything, and I think it did a good job of surmising their feelings for each other.
Okay, but like other than like that, and other than that, and obviously the last episode, and literally the dick joke from episode like 2 or 3, like the rest is like,
I don't know. Now I feel like you're just unnecessarily hating on Eromanga.
I'm not unnecessarily hating on it.
It was good throughout. It was not necessarily like, all right, what about when Muramasa showed up? Her entrance into the series was really good. Like that scene when she first introduced herself was good. The scene where she blew up Elf's spot was great. Elf's introductory episode was great. I don't know. There was a lot more moments for me in Eromanga that are going to stick out. Let's put it this way. There's going to be a lot of moments those moments I'm going to remember.
I don't know. Those moments that you talk about, like, in my mind, I can just pick up, like, a few. I can literally name up a few off the top of my head from, from Renai Boken. Like, literally, like I said, the Akane scene, when Guri catches Shikimi. The moment they had the sleepover episode, like
I don't see those scenes as amazing. Those scenes were funny. They weren't like. I'm not gonna remember those scenes next year. Let's put that unless there's a second season of Renai Boken. I'm not gonna remember any of these. None of them particularly stick out to me in my mind.
Okay, the only reason why I'll give you the Muramasa one is because as a gay person, I can't resist watching, especially in anime, when someone literally reads someone for filth, like for utter filth, and the other person literally just like...
Your manga just had...
The bitch didn't even take a seat. She literally went under the table. That's how embarrassed she was for herself. That was a great scene.
A lot of really great moments. It had a lot of things... Like, whenever I see a confession scene from now on, I'm going to remember Elf's confession scene. I'm going to compare it to that. I'm going to... Like it was really high intensity moments. There were a lot of high intensity moments.
I am definitely going to.
And the character interactions were a lot more distinct.
Of Ram's speech from ReZero myself, but
yeah, that too. I put them not both on the same tier, but they're both really good.
Whoa! I got to say now.
Ram's speech is a lot better than ReZero, but
kind of.
But then again, there was like a whole episode dedicated to it, so. In any case, yeah, for me, I don't know. I just like the character interactions better in Eromanga Sensei, hence I like the characters better, and I think there were just a lot more scenes that are memorable and going to be like, stick with me for a long time. Don't get me wrong, I still love Renai Boken, and I still want a second season of it. I just wish if it was longer, like if Renai Boken was 24 episodes, I think it would potentially beat out Eromanga. Potentially, if it got better as it kept going.
I don't know. To me, consistency is I understand we're both biased, but for me, consistency is a huge thing. Like, if you can just be consistently, I enjoy it from like beginning to end. To me, that says something about an anime. Like, for me personally, when it comes to anime, if I can enjoy every episode from beginning to end, no complaints, yada yada, which I had none about this anime, that puts it over like most animes, even the ones that like any anime that has like their ups and down slopes to like drama and stuff, like, because to me that's very cookie cutter. But yeah, so I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed Renai Boken. I enjoy animes that are just consistent from beginning to end. Anything that, because there's just so many comedies that try to do this, and then they're like, we're trying to be funny every episode, and they just can't do that. You know, there's very few animes that can achieve that. Even whatchamacallit, some of my favorite, Serokai Yakuendomo, which is arguably my favorite comedy.
I feel like that was consistently funny.
One of my favorite. Maybe, I don't know, because it's like, I feel like, I don't know, it was, I don't remember, it's like, I remember too many things, like, I feel like the first few episodes are funny, and then it's just like, okay, we're making sex jokes, and some of them were great, and then some of them were just like, okay, sex joke, move on, next scene. It felt a little bit like, you know, like, they're trying too hard to make it all about sex, and like it just kind of like backfired in some scenes, in my opinion.
For me, I guess it depends. Consistency is definitely important, but I think it depends on what level of consistency. Like, Renai Boken is consistently good, versus Attack on Titan, which is consistently like fucking amazing, balls to the wall, great.
Okay, yes.
And
it was very awesome.
If I value more so than consistency, I value like how good your highest peaks are. Like, if your show has some really low lows, I expect your highest peaks to be way better than your lowest lows. And for me, Eromanga had a lot more highs than it did lows.
I feel like how I feel about this is the same way I feel about Kogias versus Death Note, which I don't understand how people have the nerve to compare the two when Kogias is literally like light years better. Literally leave your Dark Note
complaints in the comments below.
I know, right? Literally in Dark Note, only thing that Yami does is memorable, like actually memorable, is literally the part where he like his high, as you would say, is like when he does like that cool trick where he like literally he somehow managed to not implicate himself in any of the murders because he has he wipes his own memory, which is like genius.
Yeah, in that sense, I'll agree with you. I will agree that Death Note is not as good as Kogias.
That was great, but Kogias was just like it's literally like hitting you over the head with like greatness every episode.
Kogias was consistently
not all those moments. Not all those moments were as good as that one scene that he did off, but like, yeah, like they were almost there, or if not better.
I don't like any comparing them because they're like so drastically different shows. Anywho, remember when I said this was going to be a shorter episode and we needed to pad it out a bit? I think we did that.
Yeah, so do you want to take it away with Suzuruku?
Before we get to that, let's just finish this off with, well, not finish it off, but get this out of the way. Whatchamacallit ended last week. Gendo Guardian ended last week. We didn't know it ended because it was so unceremonious and, like, stupid. What are you going to give Gendo Guardian?
I'm going to give it probably like a 3 or 4.
Damn it! I was gonna give it a 3. I thought you were gonna give it. I thought you were gonna give it like a 5 or a 6.
No, oh no, God, no. nothing makes sense. It's like not done.
No, yeah, it's easily the only reason it's getting a 3 from me is because it has a few charming moments, like when Team Rocket came out. Other than that, though, it's no. Hell
yeah.
No. Don't ever watch it unless you're like, unless you're doing a podcast where you trick yourself into thinking it's a good series and you force yourself to watch it. Then you can watch it.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. It looked interesting. I liked the cover. It looked like a decent premise.
It looked like a decent... It had a good trailer, too. I thought it was a good trailer when I was watching. I'm like, oh, yeah, this will be good. It was on my list of things.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Well, you know what? You can't win them all.
Nope, you cannot. I think we did good this season anyway. Everything else besides get no Guardian. Anyway.
Yeah.
Alice to Zoroku. Rather heartwarming episode this week. Hatori is frustrated with Sana, so she tries to escape by climbing out of Wonderland on her own, despite Sana basically warning her that it's not going to work. And then Sana spends most of the episode just struggling to keep up with Hatori until they kind of eventually reach the exit, but it doesn't lead anywhere because Sana's powers aren't working. And then they ultimately decide to settle down in this like abandoned house. But meanwhile, while all that's going on, Ichijo, Sanae, and Zoroku head into Wonderland to search for Sana, and they end up getting lost and deciding to follow a pig because they think that's their best bet to finding Sana. And then along the way, Ichijo kind of just falls into a pit because she tries to use her powers and just this pit opens up beneath her. And then it cuts back to Hatori and Sana, who have this super heartwarming, like, heart-to-heart moment where they bond really well, and Hatori kind of spills her guts about how she misses her mom and how she feels like she's such a disappointment, and she's the reason why her parents are fighting, that she just kind of lets it all out. And then Sana's there to comfort her, and she kind of shares her own story of how she's she's just a manifestation of Wonderland, so she doesn't have any parents. And then they just kind of bond together.
Yeah.
And they...
Yeah, that part was like super
it was
meta.
Wow. And then it ends with Sana agreeing to help Hatori reunite with her mother. It was like super heartwarming and sweet and cute and everything. And like Drew said before, this is like child psychology 101. If I was a college professor, I would be like, all right, guys, this semester we're just watching Alice to Zoroku.
Yep.
Write your essays on that. Because it hit all the check marks of, I guess, a child feeling insecure about their parents fighting with each other. Yeah. Which I'm sure hits close to home for a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh, Hatori. Yeah, I really like these characters. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. They're such really well done characters. They're so realistically done.
I thought Hatori was just going to be like gone. Like she's gonna be there and then she's gonna have her own little thing and then she'd be gone. But like no, like they really just go into her character, like, and just all her, like you said, all her insecurities with her parents, and then how she's like, oh, like, and then when she says like, I wish I never existed, and then Sana's just like, what's the problem with existing? Like, at the point, I didn't even know who or what I was. I was just a thing. And then I got a form, so you know what? It's fine. And then she goes into like, I'm just saying like the whole meta conversation like really fucks me up. She's basically implying that she is essentially the what's what I'm looking for?
Manifestation?
Not only the manifestation of Wonderland. I wouldn't say so. She's like ambassador of Wonderland. Like Wonderland made her to have interactions with the outside world, then her consciousness, and then like she is a part of Wonderland, so her consciousness just learns and picks it up, and then based on her memory and what she sees and what she feels and what she does, it just kind of warps itself to reflect that, and I think that's so fucking like crazy. Like, wow, like I love that. Ugh. This series is so good. I'm so glad you chose
it. Did you choose it? I thought I chose it. No, we chose it.
I had my eyes on. Yeah.
Anywho, yeah, no, this is a really good series, and I'm like, it's super underrated apparently because it still has one of the lowest scores according to any chart. But
that's okay. you fucking weebs out there need to stop jerking off to Jojins based off of Edo manga and actually.
Well, they don't need to stop doing that.
You
can do both.
Open up your palate. Well, like not literally simultaneously. Like, please don't like jerk off to manga Dojins and watch Alice.
Some people are really talented.
That's not. Okay, that's not talent. That's like a problem. That's a problem as opposed to a talent. If you're just watching these like fucking Hattori like open up about parents and how she's unloved and unwanted, doesn't want to exist, yet totally still maintaining your boner and jacking off to a little girl drawing porn about her and her brother, then I think the problem's not with either of them. The problem's probably with you.
I love anime. I love anime. The fact that these are sentences that make sense and they're coming out of our mouths right now, just the world we live in.
Also, what was with all the incest, the low-key incest in Eromanga Sensei?
Oh yeah, no, there's so low-key. I'm telling you, like, just to go back to Eromanga Sensei real quick, if you really sit down and think about everything that happened in Eromanga Sensei, it's really, really messed up. Like, it's super fucked up. It's incest, they're all underage. I mean, mind you, they're all in middle school, so it's like, except Masamune, who's either in high school or, like, college? No, he's in high school.
No, he's definitely in high school. Yeah, like, Jesus Christ, like, where are these people's parents? Apparently none of them exist.
No, you know that. Rule number one in anime, parents.
You literally have never met any of their, like, seen one of their...
they had an episode where they were there, but they're not there.
No, but none of them are there in, like, the current time. Oh my god. Yeah, you're right. Anime's fucking wonderful.
Yeah. Anytime I'm gonna record this little sound clip. Anytime somebody asks me, "Why do you like anime so much?" I'm just gonna play this. But maybe not. I might freak them out a bit, but whatever.
Just a bit. So now that Soren is done, drugging me, pushing me down.
I'm glad we did not have a fight about me killing you this episode.
Oh, great. Yeah, now you're just going to talk about to everyone how, like, yeah, you can just watch porn about people drawing porn. Sorry, kids drawing porn, and simultaneously watching kids talk about how fucked up their lives are, and they just want to die.
It's called diversity.
So that's apparently what Sobroni wants to do.
A lot of diversity in anime. So much variety.
It's called "What the fuck is wrong with you and why are you like this?" That's what it's called. But yeah. So with that being said, guys, before he thinks of any more warped, fucked up things to do with your anime, we're gonna end things here. If you enjoyed this episode, by all means, like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, and we'll see you next week. Oh, and definitely look out for our summer preview. Yes, our summer anime preview, 2017. Yep, so look out for that. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Later.
Until then, bye.
Later, guys.